Okay, my friends, my followers, and my peeps. See, I got my little stand here by me today. This is Tymon. Truth Talk with Tymon. Well, today's subject is going to be controversial. Sadly, I had to let a student go. I don't know if you've seen my video on my main channel, Karate Creeds. I talked about all the different creeds I was taught and the values and everything and how they molded us. To make this short, this particular student of mine was running into a spiral, and it came out of the MAGA cult. And so my subject today is the MAGA cult. I actually had this planned out for a while as I was reading Project 2025 and how bad the cult was becoming, and how bad the cult is going to be if it gets back in our office. I mean, this is some scary stuff. I mean, and I'm going to do a separate video later about Project 2025. So let's get on with this subject, the MAGA cult. And I got 6 pages of notes in here, so handwritten notes. I was researching some other stuff last night, particular memes and stuff too, because the second part of this is going to be of a meme that I found on one of my friend's pages that was surprised Facebook did not take down. It's full of lies and half-truths about Biden, and sadly that is what MAGA does. They spread lies, they spread hate, they spread misinformation. MAGA, somebody's going to believe his lies. Here we go. As I wrote, Trump is an evil narcissist. He's a racist, a bigot, and a bully. He bullies others. He bullied that handicapped person. Made fun of handicapped people. I'm a disabled handicapped person. My wife just came in. Alright. Now this is what I'm really angry about. What I was leading up to. How he constantly puts down others and how he puts down us veterans. And I ain't talking about the suckers and losers remarks. I'm not talking about the Ghost Star families. All that stuff was wrong and evil. But I'm talking about what he said about the Medal of Honor and compared to the President of the Medal of Freedom. Trump's a piece of garbage. Alright? I wrote down some cuss words in here. I'm going to try not to use them in my video, but I'm serious. Alright? F Trump. Alright? And you're a veteran and you follow Trump, then F you too, because it don't make any sense to follow somebody that's so hateful, that puts down others, especially if you're a veteran, especially if you're a disabled person. You're part of that MAGA cult. which I'm going to get in more detail about. I was a combat veteran. I served my country honorably. I was in an explosion, got injured. I also got knocked down a ladder well on a ship, and I got injured. I had to go through much rehab at the VA. Well, if Trump gets in the budget 2025, there ain't going to be a VA. Because that budget, some of the stuff he's going to do in his first time written in here. There ain't going to be a VA. Trump's a disgrace. And you're a disgrace if you follow him. You're a disgrace if you're a veteran and follow him. You're disgracing our country. I wasn't here. Sorry, I'm beyond angry. I was angry when I was writing this last night. Okay, Trump was a narcissist. I have a sociology degree. He has a narcissistic personality disorder. He reflects his life onto others. That's what makes him so dangerous. He's a pathological liar. You know? I mean, he lied 162 times in an hour on in that interview. 162 times in an hour. It's 2 lies a minute. He's a criminal. He's a convicted felon. 34 counts. He belongs in prison. I mean, my God, he caused an insurrection, attack on our capital, for crying out loud, and people want him back in the White House? What else wrong with people? Are they brain dead? The MAGA caught. Well, first of all, the word MAGA, Make America Great Again, actually came from President Ronald Reagan's speech when we were going through that recession in the 80s. Right? Reagan was born in 1911 and he died in 2004. He was actually a Republican president that I respected. Okay? And during that speech, and we were going through that recession, and what did he say? I'm going to get you out of this. I'm going to make America great again. Well, Trump stole that, and he twisted Ronald Reagan's words. He twisted his words for his own evil agenda. All right? What else do I have written in here? I got a lot of stuff in here. I'm just getting started. But the caught are people that follow his hate. The people that believe his lies. People that believe that he's the vessel of Jesus Christ himself. Really? Are you serious? Really believe that he's the vessel of Jesus Christ himself? Oh my God. To follow Trump, that means you just have to be a climate denier. You're an election denier. You don't care about women or women's rights. You don't care about the school systems or kids, because you're going to take away all those rights. Take away education in the Project 2025, which I'm going to be breaking down here in a minute. I'm going to be taking my break here. Our MAGA really agrees in more guns. They would rather take away books to help children learn than guns, than assault weapons. That you know, you see that on the street. That's coming. They were going to take away the books. They want more guns. They want to fly the flag upside down, disgracing our flag, disgracing our nation. That's what the MAGA card is. And to reiterate, on my one post I did, I think a month ago, or 2 months ago, you know, 3 weeks ago, but I was talking about the Cardi creeds, and how one should not teach a MAGA, you know. They can understand why, because they go down a spiral. That's what they do, they go down a spiral. Next I'm going to talk about Project 2035 and taking my break. Alright. Yeah, I was just starting that video. I'm glad I didn't use all those cuss words. I would have had to do a lot of editing out with my editor, doing a beep sound. Reiterate some more. When you're part of the MAGA cult, basically you don't care about the LGBTQ, you don't care about people's rights, you don't care about the environment, the climate, greed, corruption, power are the things that the MAGA breathe in. You know, I mean, Trump wants to take away all these rights and enrich his billionaire friends. I mean, in his first term, is going off some of the Budget 2025, and this is just the highlight of his first term. And all the stuff I found online, legit sources, not Fox News, not OAN and all that garbage that's going to spread lies, hate, misinformation, and definitely not Truth Social, because that's they should call that the untruth social. Alright? Trump wants to privatize Medicare. That's a big mistake. That's going to. He also wants to kick millions of people off health care. You know, because he's going to repeal the Obamacare, which they call it, but it's the Affordable Care Act. He wants to take it away, bring us back to the time when people with pre-existing conditions cannot have health care. Biden has a drug negotiation plan that they finally passed. All right, you know, cap the price of insulin at $35 for seniors, and now there's more negotiations going on with 10 more drugs. All right, Trump wants to take all that away. He wants to take away Medicaid. He wants to reverse the student loan debt forgiveness program. Again, he wants to withdraw from the Paris Accord. The green jobs and climate programs that were enacted under the last few administrations, some under Clinton, Obama, and Biden. He wants to take us, dismantle the EPA, wants to dismantle NOAA, the Navy, Oceanography, thing I used to know what it stand for. Aeronautical Administration, you know, it's the science ships that go out, research the ocean, research the climate, you know. You get the very accurate weather from NOAA, all right? I don't know, you guys can't see how dangerous this is, right? He wants to repeal the Biden's Inflation Reduction Act. He wants to replace everything with tariffs, which is going to cost an average of $3,900 more for working class families. I already mentioned this part, to shed the greenhouse gas emissions and gut all the clean energy programs. And he wants to replace all the climate advisors with Trump loyalists, basically the MAGA loyalists, Trump loyalists. You know, instead of real scientists, he wants to put loyalists in place, and they're going to call them the fossil fuel energy advisors. He wants the power to reject all climate science and research. Wants to gut the federal workforce and install MAGA loyalists in its place. Wants to be allowed to deploy the military at will against civilians. He wants to allow ice raids in churches, schools, hospitals, and playgrounds. What the F? He wants to make the man and woman marriage, alright, the ideal family structure. Okay? He wants to take away all the anti-discrimination protections for the LGBTQ students, for disabled students, basically he wants to take away all their rights. And I remember that one, he did not even want that disabled American veteran who fought in combat. He said, no, we can't show these people. We have to have the healthy veterans, you know. This is the type of man that Trump is. He's an evil person. Alright? He wants to re-implement his transgender military ban and expel all the people, all the transgender that's currently serving in the military. Reverse the FDA's approval of abortion medications, invoking the old 150-year-old Comstock Act, so no medications of such can be sent to the mail, and basically the morning after pill. Back when I was a teenager, you know, young and dumb, you know. And he wants to enact a de facto national abortion ban. To compel states to report the reason for abortion. Why is this woman having an abortion? Why? Women are control of their own bodies. Basically, that's against the HIPAA law. Trump wants us to go against the federal law, so basically what he's going to try to do, he's going to try to repeal the federal HIPAA law. And I'm going to allow states to ban employers from providing health care that cover women that require an abortion, no matter what the reason is. They can be having complications, or they can be, their life could be at risk, or the baby cannot be might not be viable. No matter what the reason is, doesn't care. And this is the guy that you guys want in the White House. The MAGA, the court wants to follow and wants in the White House. A criminal that wants to take away all these rights, and he's a criminal. Next, I'm going to break down a meme. I'll be back. Alright, last part here. You just saw that meme. Well, let's make that meme down. Because Facebook is not allowing Project 2025 memes that's already been broken down, for, say, like from Robert Wright, who's a man of intellect. He's actually a professor at the University of California, Berkeley. People with intellect, they don't allow those people to speak, especially in the MAGA world. If we have intellect in the MAGA world, they're going to try to dumb you down, you know, especially in the MAGA world. Alright? So let's break that meme down, okay? First one says, here's the Biden-Harris meme I would break down. That's what I want, okay? Allow 15 million unvetted illegals into the country. That's a lie. Now, there was a total of 7.2 million people that crossed the border. Okay? But they were vetted. Even the illegals that crossed, you still have to get vetted. When you get captured, you got to get vetted. under the old Reagan border bill. Now, let's not forget, I had that note in there, I'm going to say that now. Let's not forget that there was a Republican in Congress that wrote a border bill, a bipartisan border bill. A Republican. The Border Patrol loved it. The law enforcement of those areas loved it. Even ICE loved it. Right? And it also would allow a path to a citizenship, reenacting the doctrine, a path to a citizenships, and all these. But majority of the things on it was every single thing that the Republicans wanted, except putting kids back in cages. But it had everything else on it that they wanted, pretty much. Yeah, Trump said, "Oh, it's a bad bill." So his buddies at the House of Representatives said, "Well, we're not going to look at it." They didn't even read it. I read it. I mean, there was a lot of things on it that, as a Democrat, I'm like, "Oh man, we shouldn't do this." But that's how far that Biden was going to go. Right? But he was completely compromised. He was like giving them everything they wanted except that one thing. Right? Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. So, because, more lies. More lies. And 2.8 million illegals and migrants that crossed the border were deported. 2.8 million were already deported under Title 42. So don't believe these lies. We have a historic inflation crisis. Okay. This is another lie. With like a hat tooth in it, okay? Though inflation went up under the COVID crisis with supply chain issues and corporate greed and price gouging, it's now down to 2.9%. Nearly what it was in 2020, what was that, 2.4%. And under the Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, it is continuing to go down, and basically the economy is stabilized. We have the highest, the economy is not even on that mean, but we have the highest economy now than pretty much we ever had. Look at high gas prices. 2. Gas prices went up. I got a note here. Under Reagan, but when we had the recession, gas was getting nearly $3 a gallon. So add for the value of the dollar back in the 80s, early 80s, to now, means gas would have been extremely high, right? But what he did was he removed all the price controls, and the price significantly dropped to $1.25 a gallon. Okay. In 2008, the highest cost of gas was $4.10 a gallon. It did go up to over $5 a gallon in California, at $5.44 under this current administration. But now with using Federal Reserves and allowing more drilling, including on public lands. The gas now is an average of $3.44 a gallon. But no, will it ever go back down to $1.25 like it was in the 80s? Probably not. Now I have a note here. The president does not set the price of oil. The president and Congress does not set the price of oil. I just repeated that so you can get it through your head. Alright? It's set by the three major corporations, the monopolies, as you would say. The OPEC, which is basically all the Middle Eastern and Middle Eastern countries. OPEC is all the Middle Eastern, so it's all in that OPEC group. Okay, Exxon and China Petro. Those are the three major monopolies, and they set the price of a barrel of oil. Okay, and don't forget, it's also set by the crude, the refining process, and the taxes that's put upon it. But Congress does not set the price of oil. We have a record high consumer debt. Sadly, that is true. But a record high consumer debt at $17.3 trillion, with an increase of 16.6% of credit card debt. However, debt is passed on from president to president. It accumulates, it accumulates, it accumulates, it accumulates. Right? Obama added $9.5 trillion to the debt, and Trump added $7.8 trillion to the debt. I didn't write down all the other presidents, current presidents. I just wrote down the highest ones. So yes, we are sadly at a record high consumer debt. Biden released tariffs in the country. That's another false statement, another lie. So there was 3 suspected terrorists. One was suspected ISIS ties, arrested in New York. Trump, though illegals, what did I write down here? In other countries, they are vetted, and many put onto the TSDS, which is the terrorist screening database. So the screen, the vetted and screened. And the vetting process could be better if they would allow the Biden's border bill. All right? There are 736 on the watch list, okay? But does not mean there's 736 terrorists in the U.S. No, it does not. Okay? In fact, MAGA crime is actually down. MAGA crime is down. MAGA crime is actually rare. So it did happen. I have a mind block. I didn't write that one down, but remember Marjorie Taylor Greene mentioned her name, and Biden mentioned her name. Sadly, it wasn't all legal with it. And everybody was up in arms over that. And that was a terrible thing that happened. All right? It was a terrible thing that happened. However, the highest crimes that's in this country, that's being committed in this country, in the United States, is by right-wing, sorry to say this, evangelistic, white nationalist extremists. The white nationalist extremists have the highest crime rate. And this is according to the FBI and a director appointed by Donald J. Trump, Christopher Wray. Let's just not believe these lies, guys. Can Russia will? Well, I don't know what this has to do with Biden. But yes, there's a war going on. There's two wars going on. But there's also a war going on under Trump, too. Don't forget that. We had the Afghanistan, two wars going on under Trump, too. Don't forget that. We had Afghanistan and we had Iraq still. So, war's a sad thing. I mean, geez. Because Putin invaded a weakened nation for power and greed. And what did Trump call Putin? Trump called him a genius for doing that. We are supplying weapons, we have supplied aircraft, we supplied training, we supplied tanks, everything we can to help ensure that Ukraine wins and we can help save our world democracy. Because if Russia and Putin wins, our democracy around the world is fragile now because of this war. I'm just going to leave it at that. Is there a Moscow? Then again, we had two wars under the other presidents too. Even under Obama, even under Bush. Bush started these wars. The Afghan and Iraq wars. So, Biden is negotiating with Netanyahu. It is terrible what Netanyahu is doing. He ain't listening to reason. He's bombing schools, bombing hospitals. Many children are getting killed. The latest bombing was a school, and to get 8 terrorists, 8 Hamas terrorists, killing 1,000 children. It's genocide what he's doing. And I can say that. I'm not an actual report, and I feel that in my heart. It's wrong. There's no glory in what he's doing right now. And Biden's fighting hard for those peace talks. It's time for peace now in that region. Then the other one, that that's just withdrawal from Afghanistan. Withdrawal did not go as planned. Okay, that's true. It did not go as planned. Yeah, but let's not forget the history. When we withdrew from Vietnam, I think it was 1971. When we withdrew from Vietnam and the LBJ. Do not forget that disaster. It was even worse. Kids were running down the just to try to get free. People were running, trying to get free. Gates were being shook. You can watch old videos. You see old videos of Vietnam and the withdrawal. I mean, yeah, withdrawals can be terrible. They can be disastrous. They don't always go as smoothly as planned. And no, it did not go as smoothly as planned. But it was time for our troops to come home. We were there for over 20 years, and that's way too long to be in war in a region. Way too long. Here's another outright lie. violent crime is skyrocketing. That's, like I said, outright lie. The truth is, the surge that we had in violent crime, was from 2019 to 2020 during the heart of the COVID crisis, when the COVID crisis was skyrocketing. You know who was in office at that time? Donald J. Trump. Because MAGA wants to project it onto Biden. Because that's what MAGA does. They start to follow the narcissistic tendencies of Donald J. Trump. And the Biden crime has actually gone down. Alright, try to jail a political rival in the name of democracy, whatever all that means. Another big lie. I mean, those who don't know anything about how the government works, there's three branches of government. Okay? Executive, judicial, and legislative. They're all separate. The only branch of government is the executive. The other two branches are separate from the president. They're separate from the president. They wouldn't want to talk about who wants to corrupt the justice system. It's Donald J. Trump. Because he wants to be in charge of all three branches. Man, look at the Supreme Court. Look how corrupt the Supreme Court has got. The gifts and the lavish stuff that they accept. There's no ethics in the Supreme Court anymore. Alright? So Biden really tried to do this and take charge of the branch, judicial branch or whatever, right? If he really tried to do this, then why did he not pardon his son Hunter Biden? Think about it. Because he is keeping the branches separate. Right? For two, Trump committed many, many crimes long before even Biden became president. Everything from sexual assault to business fraud, to tax fraud, to unethical practices, not paying his workers, many lawsuits against him. My God, I could just go on and on. He tried to steal the election. He stole classified documents and shared some with others, which he got away with under another corrupt judge, Eileen Cannon, right? And let's not forget, he incited an insurrectionist attack on our Capitol, in which people got killed. January 6th. So does Trump belong in prison? You damn right he does. He belongs in prison for the rest of his life. He lied to the American public about Joe's decline. Alright? This is laughable. This is laughable. Trump is the one in decline. Hey. Here's a narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. He is I already mentioned all the things about him, you know. The way he bullies and the way he talks about people and all this stuff. So you tell me who's the one in decline? Think about it. Step back and think about it, guys. He declared war on American energy. Whatever. I just put whatever, because Biden carried over on the Clinton and Obama's energy plans. He offered $14,000 for home energy and solar upgrades, which totaled $8.5 billion. That was $7.5 billion in solar grants to more than 900,000 homes. Right? Saving Americans $350 million, right, annually. He advanced the environmental climate initiatives, advanced onto the Paris Agreement, right? Environmental justice across America with a $27 billion greenhouse gas reduction funds, invested $11 billion to rural energy programs, and not to mention the charging stations and EVs and if that's war on energy, then I don't know what to say, because he's actually added on to a lot of the energy programs, including those of Jimmy Carter. Record low test scores. 2, we do have record low test scores, right? Test scores did drop during the pandemic. Reading is lower among 13-year-olds, and there's a drop sharply in mathematics. But you got to remember something. We were at lockdown for quite a while. Children were trying to learn at home on computers. Parents were still trying to work from home. Kids didn't have that social interaction. They didn't have, the help of the teachers. So yes, let's not forget that. And then lastly, this is the most unpopular president and vice president in history. That is a completely untrue statement. In history, the most unpopular president was James Buchanan, 1868. In the modern era, it's Donald J. Trump and Richard Nixon, 1913 to 1994. That's what I got for you. I hope you guys learned something from this. And don't become part of that MAGA cult. Don't believe all the lies and Fox, ON, and Newsman, whatnot. Stay off Truth Social. Follow the legit news sources.
My friends, just because Trump says it, don't believe it. Follow your own intuition and facts. Don't believe the lies. That's all I got to say. Hope you enjoyed this. The next video will be a bigger breakdown of Project 2025. See you then. Take care and God bless.